Houston Public Media is really the backbone of our alerts and warnings when it comes to coordinating with the media. When we push out an emergency alert, it goes to Houston Public Media that then informs the rest of the media to get those alerts out to people listening to the radio or watching television. So they are basically the hub that informs the rest of the media so they get that message.
The night of the storm, essentially the water came in from the bayou around about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. It just started rising and rising until it got to about 2 feet inside the house. The alerts were going off throughout the day, severe storm warning, flood alerts. You were able to keep up with what was going on just outside the immediate area, because it did get to a point where there was 8 feet of water down at the bottom of the base of the street, so there's no way I could get out and go see for myself anymore. So at that point, you're at the mercy of what information can I bring in. My wife and I felt that our lives were in danger. We had a 12-year-old boy, we had a brand new puppy and a cat, and we felt that the situation was untenable at that point. So our next door neighbor has the only 2-story street on the house. So I went over there, the rain's still coming down, started knocking on the door and just said, hey, look, can we come over? And of course, they said yes.
Okay, can you tell me what's happened to you?
Well, I actually have a little home right here in this intersection in the woods, and I'm here just to see how bad it's probably been affected by the storm. I know that
Right now, we would love to welcome Kim from Willowbrook. Kim, are you there?
Yes, good morning. And let me just say to you guys, thank you for being on the radio, keeping us updated. And without you guys, a lot of people wouldn't have the information that you guys are providing.
Through broadcasts from Houston Public Media, we discovered that there was a huge need for us to get lawyers as volunteers into the shelters. There were thousands of people who had been evacuated from their homes and moved to George R. Brown or NRG, and so we immediately knew that we needed to have people there to help them with their legal needs, and so we got our volunteers organized. And I think we were in George R. Brown by the Wednesday after the storm and NRG by the Thursday after the storm. We served more than 10,000 Houstonians who were in those shelters during the storm. So Houston Public Media helped get the word out that we had this program and that it was available to the people impacted by the storm, and that made a huge difference.
In Houston, we celebrate diversity. The multitude of perspectives makes Houston one of the fastest growing cities in America. Houston Public Media provides television, radio, and online resources for families from all walks of life. Become a first-time member now with a contribution in any amount. Whatever you can give, now is the time to support media that makes you smarter. Call 800-364-8300 or give online at houstonpublicmedia.org.
Houston Public Media is the backbone for not only how we alert people during times of crisis, but also how we keep them informed through the news that you offer. And secondarily, for our first responders, our Emergency Operations Center, Datacasting allows us to share video and information in real time so we can make decisions very quickly with the best information possible to keep our public safe.
Datacasting is a capability that we use to leverage unused TV spectrum to broadcast content to first responders out in the field.
We can upload video, send messages, just like we did during Super Bowl, for example. It allows us to utilize that bandwidth for public safety so we don't have to rely on those networks that everybody else is using when those are in high demand.
We in the fire department didn't really have anything comparable. We didn't have anything like that. During Hurricane Harvey, as a field unit responder, we were able to transmit and send video of real-time water levels or real-time rain situations back to the Office of Emergency Management. We also used it during Harvey on fire scenes where we had crews in the back filming, sending it back to the front so we could see what the real conditions were. Anytime you have a natural disaster, your resources get spread pretty thin, and so we were able to kind of use it to help add some eyes to the scene. We're just barely scratching the surface of the possibilities that are out there that exist. Sharing with law enforcement partners and everyone else, I think it's going to open a lot of doors for everybody to kind of be on that same page.
I'm familiar with the fact that public media has different shows on and different radio programs, but to the extent that they're involved with the county and the city to help with public safety and in emergent situations was kind of surprising, but good to know, and glad to see that there's that undercurrent of support and that network and system in place to help people out. We've been home for 2 weeks now, and we're making the house back into a home, as it were, and getting our lives back to normal and looking forward to the future at this point.